Senior Vice President, AARP Public Policy Institute, and Chief Strategist for the Center to Champion Nursing in America.
Okay,
So
great.
2 hats.
Okay. All right.
Well, I guess I'd rather talk a little bit more about the context for how they think about this, and one would be the sort of an historical evolution around healthcare and how that might affect nursing and physicians, and that leads to scope of practice. So, many years ago, nurses were not allowed to hold a thermometer. Only the doctor could have a thermometer in the case. And then actually when I was becoming a nurse, we were not allowed to put in IVs. Only the resident could put in IVs. So constantly evolving technology has to be considered when we think of scope of practice issues. And I believe the IFN has to consider scope of practice, and actually I would encourage what I would say at both ends. So at the end that we talk most, I think you've probably heard most, is around the advanced practice level nurse, the advanced practice registered nurse, and that we need to make sure state laws are changed to allow the nurse who is adequately educated for this to do what they've been prepared to do. And I thought the Governor Rendell today did a great job on that. But what he didn't talk about, and what rarely is talked about, is sort of the other end, and that nurses need to delegate to unlicensed assisted personnel so that they can give the kind of care that people need, particularly in home settings and around quote-unquote long-term care or even chronic care. And it comes up a lot around medications, wound care, tube feeding, things that seem scary, very nursey. Oh my God, you have to have a licensed nurse do this when you first hear it. But then when you realize that someone is living with this chronic condition and has tube feedings every day of their life, and that this is eating to them, and it's going to be for many years, you can easily teach somebody to do a tube feeding. We do it routinely now for family members, and we can do it for those others who are caring for older adults, for younger people with physical disabilities. But again, many times it's the state laws that interfere with that ability for nurses to work in partnership with the individual, with the family, and with these other caregivers that could be in the scene. So I guess my broadest recommendation to the commission, the committee members, would be to think about what federal action could help states do this. And I don't have an answer myself, I struggle with this, but is there anything, whether it's incentives to have states change their rules or promote, it's often not even the rules have to be changed, but people have to understand what is allowed. So that would be to really think through what federal action can help spur state action.